Hey, and welcome to day one of Learning Golang with me, or should I say day one of my Learning Golang vlog, video log, video journal, whatever it is, whatever the cool kids call these things. Welcome. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty short one because in this one, it's sort of setting the scene. It's the foundation. It's getting started. Even though if you watch day 3, you'd know that I'm recording this one after that one. Just real sort of quick recap as to why I'm doing that is because I thought I wanted to get this up and running as quickly as possible. Thought text would be the best way to do that. So I started sharing a text post on LinkedIn and then on Twitter. You can find links to those down below. Then on, I think it was day 2, I then moved into writing up a blog post for my blog, sharing on LinkedIn, and then adding a link on Twitter. Day 3, here we are with a blog post and a video. So that's going to be the last time I do this explainer. I want to focus on the videos. Anyway, so what's this all about? Well, in short, for the longest time, I have wanted to learn another software development language other than the one I have used for the longest time now, since I think about version 3.34, if memory serves correctly, back in 1997, 98, of that being PHP, by the way. Just how careers wind and careers go. That was just the language that I have used the most. But I've always wanted to get back to something kind of more like the original languages I started working with or learning, which was C and Java. And Go kind of is the modern cool, at least for me. And so I thought, well, I'm going to get into that one. And this is also through the encouragement of a good and dear friend of mine as well, who is a big Go developer in the UK. Hats off to you, you know who you are. Anyway, I sat down and I looked at a lot of the core Go references, which I think are the Go Tour, Go by example, the Go documentation and so forth, and realized, as with any decent software development language, that there is a lot to learn. So I thought, well, how can I not get overwhelmed and keep focused and keep consistent and keep this as simple as possible? So what I decided to do was to sit down every day for half an hour, a hard half hour, and then I'm done, kind of finish up at that point, maybe like a minute over. But then after that, as a way of kind of helping drum in what I've learned, I would then blog about it. As I said, originally text form, now text and video. So that way I really have to think back, what did I do? What did I just learn? And so I could then talk about that and share that with you. So that's what I do after the half hour is up. As I mentioned, I share that on LinkedIn, Twitter, and my blog. You can find links to those in the notes for this video and each and every video, as well as a link to the series if you'd like to see the whole thing, if you're coming into this at some random point, hopefully close to or after number 100. So with all that out of the way, what did I learn today in my first session, or day 1 when I actually did it? Well, what I did was I started off by retaking or starting off again the Go Tour, because as my good friend in the UK said, the thing you want to do is take the Go Tour, because that really helps you lay the foundation for everything else that you're going to do. It's a good start. It's a good introduction. Start there. Then build on that later. So I started doing that. I will say I started to reacquaint myself with the core of the language, as I have tried to sit down, set time aside and so forth to learn Go over the last, or possibly 5 years, but I never really stuck with it. I never had the right motivation, the right determination. But this time I am. And I've found, at least at this point, that the tour is really clear. It's really well structured, and it does a really good job of helping you understand Go's foundations in small, bite-sized, effective ways, which is excellent when you're time boxing this pretty tightly as I am. Now, in addition to the Go Tour, what I'm also doing is trying to take what I've learned, if I can, if it's applicable, and add that into my what I'm calling my testbed application, which is a re-implementation of the front end to a weather station in Go that I've written in PHP. Specifically, what I was able to do after this session was to refactor the application to avoid it opening or making a database connection on each request to the main or default route, and instead do that in the main function and then pass that handle through to the handler of the default route. So I was pretty happy about that. I haven't done any hard load testing or anything to see if there's a huge performance difference. Given it's such a small app, I doubt there really would be, but I think as a point of principle and practice, it's a good thing to do. At this point, I feel, obviously, at the end of day one, there is still so much to learn. It's a really, really long proverbial road in front of me, but that's to be expected. And it's also an exciting time. The syntax, or some of it, is a little new and admittedly is a little confusing, but again, to be expected because you're getting into something new, or I should say. I shouldn't speak about myself in third person. But there's a lot of familiarity because Go is a C-based language. So I think there's a bit of push, bit of pull, if that's the right thing to say, a bit of constructive, healthy friction. I do think it's going to be a very fun journey. Looking forward to it continuing. And if you're on this journey with me, happy to have you here. If you're learning like I am, please let me know in the comments for this video down below. Alternatively, tweet me at webdevwithmatt with the hashtag learninggolang. I'd love to do this with you. If you're a more experienced Go developer, I'd love to know your thoughts, your suggestions for links, people to follow, all that good stuff. Otherwise, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, hit that to let me know that this is something you're interested in, gives me more motivation to keep going, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 2.